Welcome, Patrick Walbaum. You've been leading and managing Ultra's community for 9 months now, and honestly, you've been doing an amazing job. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your history?
Hey Rami, thank you for having me. Hey Mom, I made it. I'm on Ultra Chill finally. So yeah, a little bit about my background. I have a little bit of a varied background, and how I came here is quite interesting. Well, I studied in agricultural sciences. I'm an agricultural engineer. I worked in a vineyard in Chile, where I'm originally from. After that, I ventured into traditional finance, working in two very large banks as an executive account and investment. I moved to Europe, and there I entered into digital marketing. And after that, I've started working for a crypto real estate company. So I entered the crypto blockchain world, and I was there for some time. And after that, I arrived to Ultra. So a little bit of a varied background, but I arrived to Ultra finally in May of 2022.
I really like that you've had a wide arc of different experiences. And I think that kind of the style that you bring to managing a community is largely based on that. Like, you've done a lot of different stuff. You've interacted with people in many different formats, many different venues. And I think that it's very meaningful in how you manage a community. For you, what exactly does it mean to manage a community?
What does it mean? So to manage a community, or to be a community manager, you have to do, I think, several things. The most important parts, I would say, number one, is being a mediator between the community and the company, right? Communities always have questions about updates, especially when there's products being developed in the background. They don't really know the status. They don't know what the current developments are. So they're always wanting updates, wanting to know a little bit more information. So the community manager is there to be the mediator between what the community wants and what the company can actually inform to the community. So I have to be there balancing out the give and take of information, so that everybody has, in the end, full clarity and transparency, and of course in a way that doesn't let down the community. So we have to give realistic timelines and stuff like that. It's a tricky balance, but I think it's one that it's achievable, and I think we're reaching there. Mediating. You also want to moderate. You want to make sure that the community channels. Well, I'm basically more present on Telegram and Discord. Those of you who know me know that I'm a big fan of Discord. So you want to make sure that everything works good, so that newcomers arriving to the channels know what it's all about, because companies and projects like Ultra have so much stuff. It's a little bit overwhelming in the beginning, so you want the onboarding process to be as easy and welcoming as possible, and of course as safe as possible, because everybody's well aware of all the scams and the bots in and out of the crypto channels. So it's always very important to have top level security, so that things like this don't happen. And another important part is you want to grow the community, right? You have to maintain the community that you have, but you want new people to arrive. So you want basically to make the community a fun place to be, which is my last point, which is engage the community. So you want to engage, you want to grow, you want to moderate and mediate. So those 4 points, I would say, would be the key to managing the community. But in a nutshell, you just want to make the community a fun place to be. You want newcomers to understand what it's all about. And you want everybody to have a place in the community. And communities like Ultra can be a little bit tricky at sometimes, but we have such a variety of different genres inside of the community. You have your developers, your gamers, your crypto enthusiasts, NFT collectors. So you want them to arrive to the community and know where to find the information that they are looking for.
I think a big part of that is also building loyalty. What are your thoughts on how a community manager or a company really should go about building loyalty from a community to the products that they're trying to build?
That's a good question, actually. I mean, loyalty is everything in these type of projects and gaming communities. You want the community basically to feel recognized. That's what you want to do. You don't want them to be just part of the mass and go unnoticed. You want to recognize the good deeds that good community members are doing inside the community. You want them to be recognized when you see them on social media preaching the gospel of the of the company or the project that they are so passionately following. So you want all of that stuff to not go unnoticed, right? Because they are doing a very, very important part, which is talking about the project and defending it. And it's not easy to come across a loyal community, and you also don't want to just buy their loyalty, right? You just free airdrops here and there. No, you want to really show that they are appreciated and recognized, and I think that that definitely develops loyalty. You also want to include them in some type of important decisions that affect them directly. So always having some type of democratic decision making where you do polls, you get surveys. Basically, you want them to know that their voice is heard and that all of the iterations and improvements done from the back end side of the community management are done to achieve those goals.
I think that that's an interesting point, that really the uniques that people collect or they get through airdrops, they're kind of achievement, right? Like, you have achievements in games, but you have achievements with also within communities, and NFTs as a way to show, you've been around since such and such date, and you can go and like look it up on the blockchain. I think that that's really cool, really interesting.
Yes, I mean, for sure. And those type of uniques that show in that a certain member was there from the start are very valuable, especially in these long-term projects, because 3, 4, 5 years down the line, being able to show via a badge, an NFT, a recognition stamp of any sort, that they were there from the beginning, that they were the famous OGs, right? Everybody loves that term. It's a super popular one. But just being able to say that you were there from the beginning, that you saw the whole project evolve and turn into what it is today, is something super valuable. So every time, for example, there's a certain NFT drop that has a indication of when it happened, are very valuable, especially when you have a passionate community like Ultra that actually they're not, the community is not looking in a short-term ratio here. They're all looking mid to long term. Everybody knows the vision of the CEOs. Everybody knows what we're building and why we're building it. And everybody knows that this is a long-term thing. So as I said, 5 years down the line, if you can show that you were there when Ultra Games wasn't even launched yet, if you have an NFT that says that, and if you have maybe in the future a platform or a profile visualization where you can show that, that's the coolest thing ever, right? Who wouldn't want to be there from the beginning and be able to show off this recognition? So that I think is super important. And it's all about showing a little bit of recognition to the community and making sure that they can show these achievements. Because in the end, it makes them proud. It makes them proud being there from the beginning. It's also a way of them saying, you know what, I saw the potential in this project when others didn't. When it wasn't that popular, when people were kind of doubting, is Ultra going to achieve it? They don't have this product up yet. They were there and they stuck with the company from the beginning. And being able to show that makes them proud. And it makes all the sense in the world.
You mentioned it before, so let's talk about Ultra Arena. I think it's likely to play a large role in how Ultra and game developers and publishers interact with our growing community. What kinds of games do you think are going to best fit for Ultra Arena?
Ooh, yes, Ultra Arena. Wow, one of my favorite apps so far in the Ultra ecosystem. I had the privilege to actually organize the first internal tournament where many employees from Ultra got to play a Rocket League tournament, which was so much fun, by the way. Like it's so much fun to have this, to play games with your colleagues, right? It's something so fun, and really looking forward to seeing more of this stuff happen. Since I arrived to Ultra, I wanted to organize internal tournaments or external tournaments, cross-community tournaments, or just inside the community. I mean, there's so many possibilities. What games can be played on Ultra Arena and what games I'm looking for the most? I love team games. So I would say Rocket League and League of Legends are my personal favorites, just because I've not so many hours of playing them, but yeah, I used to play a lot of League of Legends, so I'm gonna see if anybody in the community is actually good at playing. We're gonna do something fun. So for all the community members and people watching, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a new chapter in Ultra's community where we're gonna actually compete and gain Uniqs and rewards and UOS prizes. It's gonna be so much fun. So I am personally very, very excited about this, and yeah, it shouldn't be long before everybody can start playing it.
So, last question for today. Um, I know that at some point in the near future, we're going to be playing games with the community. Like we're going to open up the platform, the Ultra Arena platform, and we're going to be playing tournaments. What games are you most excited to play with the community?
Ooh, that's kind of a personal, not a personal question, but everybody has their own opinion on which games would be best on Ultra Arena. The good thing and the magic about Ultra Arena is that you can play a wide variety of games. They can be Web 2, Web 3, they can be native on Ultra, they can be external. There's so many possibilities. I think it goes down to personal preference. As I said before, I think the team games are most fun. You have, for me, my personal favorites, as I said, Rocket League and League of Legends. But I think, of course, there is a big preference, especially from David and Nicholas, for shooter games, especially with the AAA FPS that Ultras is developing. So it would be a dream come true to see actually the games on Ultra games being played on Ultra Arena, right? Like closing the circle of the Ultra ecosystem, or playing tournaments on Elarium. Like it's an exciting time, and as I said, it's exciting stuff that's going to be coming. But yeah, I would have to say team games are the most fun, especially when you have a big community, because you want everybody to participate, right? And it's always fun when people start building their teams. They have maybe guilds and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what we can achieve, the fun that we can have doing this, and how other people see this from the outside and maybe want to join. So that's what makes me particularly excited.
Patrick, it's been super fun having you on the show.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much, Rami, for having me. And yeah, it was great. See you guys.
Ultra is life.